Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said to Satan, "From where come you?" And Satan answered the Lord and said, "From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it." And the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that fears God and eschews evil, and still he holds fast his integrity, although you moved me against him to destroy him without cause?" And Satan answered the Lord and said, "Skin for skin, yes, all that a man has will he give for his life. But put forth your hand now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse you to your face." And the Lord said to Satan, "Behold, he is in your hand, but save his life." So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot to his crown. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself with, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife to him, "Do you still retain your integrity? Curse God and die." But he said to her, "You speak as one of the foolish women speaks. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God? And shall we not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips." Now, when Job's 3 friends heard of all this evil that was come on him, they came every one from his own place, Eliphaz the Temanite, and Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite, for they had made an appointment together to come to mourn with him, and to comfort him. And when they lifted up their eyes afar off, and knew him not, they lifted up their voice, and wept, and they rent every one his mantle, and sprinkled dust on their heads toward heaven. So they sat down with him on the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spoke a word to him, for they saw that his grief was very great. Then in a single day, tragedy fell like an avalanche. Messenger after messenger arrived with devastating news. The oxen and donkeys were stolen, and the servants were killed. Fire fell from heaven and consumed the sheep. The camels were taken, and more servants were struck down. And finally, the worst news of all: your sons and your daughters are dead. A violent wind struck the house where they were gathered, and it collapsed on them. Job lost everything: wealth, security, future, children. But in that moment, when many would curse God, Job did something unexpected. He stood up, he tore his robe, he shaved his head, he fell to the ground, and he worshipped. With a broken voice, but a steadfast heart, he declared, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I shall return there. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." And Scripture concludes, "In all this, Job did not sin nor charge God with wrongdoing." Spiritual explanation of Job 1 through 22. Number 1. Integrity does not prevent testing. Job was righteous, God-fearing, and faithful, and yet he was tested. This teaches us that suffering is not always the result of sin. Sometimes it is the result of a spiritual testimony. Number 2. The battle was spiritual, not material. The book reveals something profound. Job's struggle did not begin on earth, but in heaven. Satan wanted to prove that Job's faith was selfish. God knew it was genuine. Number 3. God places limits on suffering. Even while allowing the trial, God set clear boundaries. This shows that nothing escapes God's sovereign control, not even pain. Number 4.
True worship is born in pain. Job did not worship because everything was going well, but because God was still God, even when everything was taken away. This is the essence of mature faith. Number 5. Job's greatest victory was not losing his heart. He lost possessions, children, and stability, but he did not lose his reverence